Hey everyone, and a big thanks to LitRPG Reads and our fine fellow Paul Bello for having us on today.
I was DMing a game just last week, and it really hit me how much we rely on imagination in these tabletop RPG sessions. I was describing this incredible abandoned temple. Sunlight filtering through cracks in the ceiling, vines creeping in. And it was like everyone was picturing something completely different.
It's the classic challenge of tabletop RPGs, right? We're all drawing from our own visual libraries, and sometimes those interpretations clash. But what's exciting is that there's a tool emerging that can help bridge that gap. AI art generation.
Yeah. I've been playing around with these tools myself. And it's kind of mind-blowing. It's like having a concept artist on call, ready to whip up a visual for anything you can imagine. Like the other night, one of my players wanted to introduce this really unique character, a half-orc bard who plays the lute and wears this ridiculous feathered cap. I was struggling to picture it. But then I plugged a few keywords into Midjourney, and boom, there he was in all his glory. It really brought the character to life for everyone at the table. What's interesting is that these AI art generators aren't just creating static images, they're built on complex algorithms, often diffusion models, that have been trained on massive data sets of images and text. So when you feed it a prompt, it's not just pulling up a pre-existing image, it's actually generating something new based on its understanding of visual concepts and relationships.
And the level of detail is incredible. Like I was generating some images for an upcoming dungeon crawl, and I was able to specify things like the type of stone, the lighting, even the amount of moss growing on the walls, and the AI just nailed it. It felt like I was looking at concept art for a video game or something.
And that's a key point. The quality of these AI-generated images has become so good that it's blurring the lines between amateur and professional art. This is a game changer for independent creators, aspiring game developers, and of course, tabletop RPG enthusiasts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a DM who's always wanted to create a published adventure module. Now you can use AI to generate professional quality artwork for your maps, characters, and key scenes without having to hire an artist or spend months learning to draw.
This kind of accessibility is truly democratizing the world of creative content creation. And it's not just about making things look pretty, it's about enhancing storytelling, immersion, and engagement. Think about it. If you're a player and you can actually see your character, your weapons, the environment you're in, it just adds a whole new layer of depth to the experience.
Right. It's like the difference between reading a book and watching a movie. And speaking of movies, one of the AI generators that's been making waves is DALL-E 2, created by OpenAI. Now, I always thought the name was kind of funny, like Salvador Dali with an extra E. But this thing is seriously powerful. I've seen people use it to generate photorealistic images, surreal dreamscapes, even images in the style of famous artists.
What sets DALL-E 2 apart is its ability to understand complex prompts and generate images that are not only visually impressive, but also logically coherent. You can tell it to create a robot playing chess with a cat on the moon, and it will actually understand those elements and arrange them in a way that makes sense. It's like it has a grasp of physics and composition, which is pretty wild when you think about it.
And then you've got Midjourney, which I've been having a ton of fun with. It's known for being really good at generating character portraits, which is perfect for tabletop RPGs. Like you can give it a detailed description of your character, including their race, class, equipment, even their personality traits.
Yeah.
And it will spit out an image that captures all of that.
What's fascinating about Midjourney is that it seems to have a knack for capturing emotion and personality in its character portraits. It's not just about generating a generic elf or dwarf. It's about creating a character that feels unique and believable. And that's what really matters in tabletop RPGs, bringing those characters to life and making them feel real to the players.
Okay, so we've got these incredibly powerful AI art generators like DALL-E 2 and Midjourney that are capable of creating almost anything you can imagine. But there's also a platform that's specifically designed for the world of tabletop RPGs, and it's called LitRPG Adventures Workshop.
This is where things get really interesting. LitRPG Adventures Workshop isn't just about generating pretty pictures. It's about integrating AI art seamlessly into the gameplay experience.
So it understands the mechanics and nuances of tabletop RPGs in a way that general-purpose generators might not.
Exactly. It's like having an art director who's also a seasoned dungeon master, for example. It has tools for generating character portraits that are not only visually stunning, but also mechanically accurate. Let's say you're playing a fighter in D&D, and you've chosen to specialize in using a greatsword. LitRPG Adventures Workshop can generate a portrait of your character wielding that specific type of sword, wearing armor that's appropriate for your class, and even displaying any unique markings or scars that you've described in your backstory.
That's awesome. And I bet it's a huge help for dungeon masters, too.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine you're planning a dungeon crawl. With LitRPG Adventures Workshop, you can generate a detailed map of the dungeon, complete with secret passages, traps, and treasure chambers. But it goes beyond just a static map. You can actually populate the map with monsters and NPCs, and the platform will automatically adjust their stats and abilities based on the challenge level you've chosen for the dungeon.
It's like it's taking all the tedious work out of prepping for a game
Oh.
and letting you focus on the creative side of things.
Precisely, and that's really the power of AI art in tabletop RPGs. It's not about replacing human creativity, it's about augmenting it, giving us tools to enhance our storytelling, world building, and overall gaming experience.
And the best part is, these tools are constantly evolving and getting better. It's incredible to think about what the future holds for AI art in the world of tabletop RPGs. I mean, just a few years ago, something like this would have seemed like science fiction.
It's a testament to the rapid pace of technological innovation. And it's really exciting to see how these advancements are being applied to creative fields like gaming. And speaking of exciting advancements, there's another AI art generator that's been gaining a lot of attention lately, and it's called Stable Diffusion.
I've heard a lot about Stable Diffusion. It's the open source one, right?
That's right. Stable Diffusion is unique because its code is publicly available, which means that anyone can download it, modify it, and use it to create their own AI art generation tools. This has led to an explosion of creativity and experimentation within the AI art community.
So it's like the Linux of AI art generator.
Exactly. It's about giving people the freedom to explore, tinker, and push the boundaries of what's possible with AI art. And that's one of the things that makes Stable Diffusion so exciting. It's constantly evolving. With new models and features being released all the time, you can find Stable Diffusion models that are specialized for generating photorealistic images, anime-style art, abstract patterns, and pretty much anything else you can imagine.
And that level of customization must be a dream come true for tabletop RPG enthusiasts who really want to fine-tune the look and feel of their games. Like, if you have a very specific vision for your campaign setting or your characters, you can actually train a Stable Diffusion model on a dataset of images that match that aesthetic. It's like having your own personal art team that's dedicated to bringing your vision to life.
It's a level of creative control that was simply unimaginable just a few years ago, and it's only going to get more powerful and accessible as these technologies continue to develop. Who knows what kind of incredible tools we'll have at our disposal in the years to come.
It's mind-blowing to think about. But even with all this incredible technology, there are some important considerations to keep in mind when using AI art, especially in the context of tabletop RPGs.
You're absolutely right. It's important to remember that AI art is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. We need to be mindful of the potential ethical implications of using AI art, especially when it comes to issues like copyright attribution and the potential for misuse.
I think that's a great place to transition into the next part of our discussion. We've talked about the amazing potential of AI art in tabletop RPGs, but now let's delve into some of the challenges and considerations that come along with this powerful new technology.
Sounds good to me. Let's dive in. With all this power at our fingertips, it's crucial to remember that responsible and ethical implementation is key. Think about it. AI art generators learn from the massive data sets they're trained on, right?
So if those data sets contain biased or problematic content, that bias could potentially be reflected in the artwork generated by the AI. It's like the old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of the sources of these data sets and advocate for greater transparency and accountability in how they're curated. We also need to be aware of the potential for AI art to be used for malicious purposes, such as creating deepfakes or spreading misinformation.
That's a sobering thought. But on a more practical level, there's also the challenge of maintaining style consistency within a D&D campaign. Imagine you're using AI art to generate portraits of your players' characters. But each portrait ends up looking like it came from a different art style. It would kind of break the immersion, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Visual cohesion is so important in creating a believable and engaging world. And it's not just about consistency within a single campaign. It's about thinking about the overall aesthetic of your game world. Do you want a gritty, realistic style, my more whimsical, cartoonish look, or something in between? Once you've established your visual style guide, you can use that to inform your prompts and guide the AI art generator toward creating images that fit that aesthetic.
You mentioned prompts earlier. And I think that's something that a lot of people new to AI art might not fully grasp. It's not just about typing in a dragon and hoping for the best. There's a real art to crafting effective prompts.
It's like learning a new language almost. You need to understand the syntax, the key words, the nuances of how the AI interprets your instructions. For example, let's say you want to generate an image of a majestic dragon soaring through a stormy sky. Instead of just typing in dragon sky storm, you might try something more specific, like a colossal silver dragon with emerald eyes, its wings outstretched against a backdrop of dark, swirling clouds, bolts of lightning illuminating its scales.
Wow, yeah. That's way more evocative. And I can already picture the image in my mind just from hearing that description. The more detail you provide, the better the results, right?
Generally speaking, yes. But it's also about finding the right balance between detail and ambiguity. Sometimes leaving some room for interpretation can lead to surprising and delightful results. It's all about experimentation and finding what works best for you and your creative process.
And that's what makes AI art so fascinating. Right, it's this collaborative dance between human creativity and artificial intelligence. We're providing the inspiration, the direction, the spark of imagination. And the AI is helping us bring those visions to life in ways that we might never have been able to on our own.
It's a beautiful synergy, really, and it's just the beginning. As these technologies continue to evolve, we can expect even more powerful and intuitive tools that will further blur the lines between imagination and reality. Imagine being able to generate entire scenes on the fly, tailored to the specific actions and choices of your players, or creating interactive maps that respond to their movements and decisions.
It's like the holodeck from Star Trek is becoming a reality. But on a more grounded level, I think it's important to remember that AI art isn't meant to replace human artists. It's a complementary tool that can enhance and expand our creative possibilities.
Absolutely. There will always be a need for the unique vision, skill, and artistry of human creators. But AI art can be a powerful ally, especially for those who might not have the time, resources, or artistic training to bring your ideas to life.
Think about it. A young dungeon master with a head full of amazing ideas but no artistic skills can now use AI to create stunning visuals for their campaign. Or a busy parent who loves to play D&D but can't find the time to draw maps and character portraits can now use AI to generate those assets in minutes. It's really opening up the world of tabletop RPGs to a wider audience, which is fantastic.
And it's not just about accessibility, it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. AI art can help us visualize concepts and creatures that would be difficult or impossible to depict through traditional means. It can help us create truly unique and immersive game worlds that are unlike anything we've seen before.
I'm playing around with generating images of alien landscapes and fantastical creatures, and it's just mind-blowing. It's like having a portal to infinite possibilities. And the best part is I don't need any artistic skills to do it. I just need a vivid imagination and a few well-crafted prompts.
And that's the beauty of it. AI art empowers us to be storytellers, world builders, and creators in a way that was never before possible. It's a tool that can help us unlock our creativity and share our imaginations with the world.
So where do we go from here? What does the future hold for AI art in the world of tabletop RPGs? I think it's safe to say that we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Absolutely. As these technologies continue to develop and become more accessible, we can expect to see even more innovative and transformative applications in the world of gaming. We'll see AI-powered tools that can generate personalized storylines, create interactive narratives, and even help us design entirely new game mechanics. The possibilities are truly endless.
It's an exciting time to be a gamer, that's for sure. But with all this excitement, it's important to keep our feet on the ground and remember that technology is just a tool. It's up to us to use these tools responsibly and creatively to enhance our gaming experiences and tell stories that resonate with our players.
Well said. At the end of the day, it's all about the human connection, the shared stories, the laughter and the tears that we experience around the table. AI art can help us create a more immersive and engaging world for those stories to unfold in. But it's the human element that truly brings them to life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI art and tabletop RPGs, I want to leave you with a thought. Imagine you're sitting down for your next game session, and you have a library of AI-generated images at your fingertips. Portraits of your characters, detailed maps of your dungeons, epic scenes of battles and landscapes.
What's fascinating here is the potential for personalization. Each player could have a unique visual representation of their character, tailored to their exact specifications. Imagine a rogue with custom-designed daggers, a wizard with robes embroidered with arcane symbols, or a barbarian with a battle axe that tells a story through its intricate carvings.
It's like each item becomes a piece of art that reflects the character's personality and history. And think about how much time you could save as a dungeon master. No more spending hours drawing maps or searching for the perfect image online. You can generate exactly what you need, when you need it, and focus on crafting the story and guiding your players through an unforgettable adventure.
And this brings up an interesting question. How might this technology change the way we play tabletop RPGs? Could it lead to more immersive and collaborative storytelling? Could it inspire entirely new game mechanics or play styles? It's certainly a lot to ponder.
For sure. And for those of you who are eager to explore this world of AI art, there are a few resources I highly recommend. Midjourney is great for generating character portraits and fantastical creatures. DALL-E 2 excels at creating realistic and surreal scenes. And Stable Diffusion, with its open-source nature, offers endless possibilities for customization and experimentation.
And of course, we can't forget LitRPG Adventures Workshop, which is specifically tailored for tabletop RPGs. This platform integrates AI art seamlessly into the gameplay experience, offering tools for character creation, map generation, and even encounter design.
So much to explore, and I encourage all of you to share your creations and experiences. This is a new frontier of creativity, and we're all pioneers in this exciting journey.
It's a journey that's full of potential and possibility, and I, for one, can't wait to see where it leads. And a final thanks to Paul Bello, fine fellow, for inspiring us to take this deep dive. Until next time, may your games be filled with wonder and imagination.